There, it's Jessie here. Welcome to the channel. Big warm welcome if you're coming back. You know that I love you. Big up new subscribers. Excuse me. A little bit tender today. And if you're completely new and you clicked on my face, perhaps there's a reason for it. I will leave it up to you to decide. Guys, I'm feeling very tender today, which is beautiful because despite the difficulty and the uncomfortability of tenderness and vulnerability, my friend reminded me that I'm being given the opportunity to meet a deeper part of myself, maybe one that I've buried, maybe a new layer in my realm. And it was very nice that she pointed it out to me, and I shifted my perspective because I woke up feeling afraid, basically, and recognizing what the emotions were, what they were triggered from, what the initial thing was, blah blah blah. But I was still approaching it from a place of resistance. And she reminded me that it's a beautiful opportunity to go deeper. And it was an important shift. So now I'll give you the context and the story of what triggered it all. And we'll see where this goes because there's lots happening. Lots has happened this morning in my head. So, I've been given a new opportunity in love. I've been presented with somebody who I believe this relationship is asking of me, am I able to love without expectation? And yesterday, when I was feeling very sure of myself with a lot of clarity and self-confidence, and with self-confidence and it comes empowerment and the knowing that I can take care of myself, whatever happens. And when I'm in that position, I go for it. Of course I'm going to go for love. I can hold this and I can hold any heartbreak. I'm not going to make a decision because I fear being hurt. That was yesterday. Now today, of course, I allowed myself, so I communicated with this person, all right, let's go for it. I'm going to go with the flow. He was so persistent that we don't lose this connection and the potential that it has, and how beautiful it is how openly we're communicating with each other and we're navigating this new territory for both of us together through our communication. And it brought a real sense of connectedness with this person. So I thought, let's go further. Okay, I'm not going to close down the potential of whatever is here between us out of fear. Let's go for it. He's super happy to hear this. I'm so happy we can keep exploring this connection. Let's see. We never know what the future holds. And I'm feeling really, really good. So then I reply. And until this point, communication has been very back and forth. Now, I sent this yesterday, and it's midday the next day without a reply. It's not a long time. But I'm feeling anxious by it, so it's triggered my anxious, fearful attachment style. Oh my gosh. So then, from the trigger, then I see all of the ways my mind and my ego structure, which was preventing me from being hurt, is then activated and justifies why this isn't a good idea. You see, he's avoidant. He didn't want you until you said that you want him, and now he's feels safe enough to, maybe that's it, maybe he feels safe enough to pull back because we communicated it. Okay, let's go for it and see what happens. So potentially he'd feel safe, but that's not how my mind went. My mind went, he's avoidant, so he did the whole no, stay, and then when I choose to stay, they're like, okay. Now that is a pattern. I've seen it in myself, in relationships I'm with the other person. It's a possibility. But am I judging? So then when my friend gave me this perspective, she said, perhaps the conversation that you had and this agreement that you've come to together and the possibilities that it's offering, which is to navigate confusing areas related to our most intimate parts, we're doing it together. So it's Actually, she suggested that interaction could be what's allowed me to now feel more vulnerable and afraid. And I'm thinking about, okay, so it's my anxious attachment style where I need his confirmation. And you know what? My friend is a genius, by the way. And she said to me, so what do you want? Do you want to fall in love or do you want to feel safe? Wow. Because yesterday, when I felt safe in myself, I wanted to fall in love. And now, when I don't feel safe in myself, I don't want to fall in love. Why? Because I still have the expectation that falling in love leads to a relationship, and a relationship leads to safety. Brilliant, huh? So I can see that I'm not, this opportunity that's being presented, which is can you love without expectation, is being tested. I believe that's how I like to see things, because I like a challenge. So, the moment we made our connection somewhat safe, that we were on the same page and we had agreed to something together, what happens? My insecurity is triggered. So I jump to, this isn't safe, he's doing that, all out there. Wait a minute. Perhaps the safety that we've created together is allowing the fear to come up, not to be judged or dismissed or listened to and followed, like I don't need to act on it. It's a chance to know myself deeper. And I did. A part of me still is seeking refuge in relationship. It's my inner child still seeking to heal the sense of unsafety she felt from primary caregivers. So that's her drive. There's my work. I need to continuously cultivate a sense of safety in myself without it coming from another love relationship safety. And it's beautiful to see the contrast. Yesterday, when I felt so safe in myself, in that I can look after myself, even if I get hurt, when I need to remember when I'm triggered that that's harder for me to access that knowing. It's there, it's not that it goes anywhere, but it's clouded by the fear and the justifications of the mind to keep me in that frozen state, to not change. So, can I love without expectation? I want to. That is my goal. I appreciate there are parts of me that still feel a little insecure in that, and I need to go back to my inner child and reassure her that I will keep her, I'm keeping her safe, I'm here for her before anyone else. And, you know, our relationships, intimate romantic relationships, will always trigger the deepest wound, the deepest fear. That's all that's happening. Not that it's a relationship, man, that's a trigger word for him. But we have a relationship, just as me and you do. Look, we have a relationship with everything, so it's not a trigger word for me. Anyway, by the by, see how I transgress and then put it outwards again. My goal is to love without expectation, and in pursuing that, I am shown the areas where it's hard. There's expectation from my inner child, which is perfectly valid. She's perfectly valid to expect that from people. It wasn't there. That was the circumstances. And now I'm here to do that for me. And then I'll be able to love without expectation. And we will see how this goes. This is Gordo en Tobogán. I'm going fatty down the slide, guys. Let's see. Let's see how I do. I'm going to do the best I can. So that's me today. I will leave it there. There is more. There's more in my heart. Do I want to share it? Yes. So I had a session this morning with a facilitator from the school that I'm working at. So they're checking in on us. How are we doing? We spoke for over 2 hours. It was beautiful. And it was a real process. And he started, at some point we started doing the work, and he was facilitating inner child work for me. Now, I've done a lot of inner child work, and this is over the phone, bear in mind, so not even with videos. So he was guiding me through it at his pace. Now, inside of me, because I've done a lot of this work, I could go at a slightly faster pace. I was going. He was like suggesting things, and it's like, I've already done that. And I was starting to get a little bit annoyed. And what I thought is, he doesn't think I'm capable of doing this. He thinks I need him to walk me through this. And that's not true. So a little bit of resentment was starting to build, and I was starting to judge what he was saying and all of this, because I was coming at it from this lens. He thinks I can't do this. Now, towards what I thought was the end of the call, an hour before it ended, he asked me again how I am, and I decided to be honest with him. I actually feel a little bit like you aren't aware of my awareness. And so I'm taking your words a little bit patronizingly. And what it triggers in me is that you don't see me for all I am and what I can do. Now, because this man has done the work and he's a proper therapist, because I've had bad experiences, he didn't take it personally at all. At all. You know, even if there was sort of slight accusation in my sharing. Slight. I was owning it, but the feeling underneath that was there. When he gave me the space to say, to share my truth with him, and he didn't take it personally, he just held that space, it gave me the opportunity to see this isn't about him. This is a recurring theme in my life. I often have this feeling that people underestimate me and then patronize me as if they know better. And giving the space to see that that was happening and this is a recurring theme, it was like, so what's my part in this? And my part is I don't speak up. I wasn't being seen by him. I wasn't showing him. I could have easily said at any moment, actually, I could go a little bit faster with this processing. Even I could have said, you know what? I've done a lot of this work. I think I can hold myself through this process and I'll let you know when it's done. That's really what I wanted to say. So then I could have really gone there with myself because I know what to do. I know how to take myself there, and people do help. But in this particular practice, I knew what I needed to do, and it was it was interrupting my process. I didn't say that. I was maintaining this hierarchical position that I had created in my mind and didn't want to offend that person, which is not my responsibility, but how I was conditioned to put others' needs before my own. My perception of others' needs, not even their needs, what I think they need. And so I spoke up. And then in doing that and him not taking it personally, I realized I don't speak up. I keep things in. Why am I chewing? It's like I hold my tongue. Rather than showing myself that I can speak up for myself and I can say, thank you very much for this support. I can take it from here. Or this is my boundary. This is what I need right now. And just express that calmly. And of course, it goes back to childhood. And this is the wound where I didn't feel safe to speak up. I didn't feel recognized or seen for what I offer. And then that created a belief that I don't expect anyone ever to see me for who I am or what I offer. And it's about me. It's about me speaking up and claiming my space and showing to myself that I can do that now. It's not about how other people react, may or may not react. It's for me. I do it for me. This just happened, so I'm still processing, and it needs to land, and of course life will give me opportunities to practice this newfound insight. So bring it on, and I will do the best I can. So that was another beautiful thing, and felt important for me to share. Thank you very, very, very much for listening, as always. I will leave it there, so please like the video if you liked it. Thoughts? What came up for you in this? And please share down below and read each other's stories. There's amazing wisdom and beauty and expression here on this page. I'm very grateful for it. I feel very honored to witness your sharings too, and it's beautiful. Anyway, and hit subscribe if you would like to join this community. So guys, thank you for listening. Have a beautiful day, beautiful life, and see you in the next video. We've got this.